It's a very proud day here at HVS, and at this time, I would like to introduce our executives and special guests who are joining us on stage this evening. To my left, your right, John D. Kemp, President and CEO of the Viscardi Center. Dr. Christopher Rosa, Interim Vice Chancellor of Student Affairs at the City University of New York, and tonight's commencement speaker. Beth Daly, Chairperson of the Henry Viscardi School Board of Trustees. Jeanette Glover, Clinical Support Services and Admissions Coordinator. And Gail Nolan, Head Nurse at the Henry Viscardi School. Before addressing the class of 2017, I would like to thank the school staff members for their tireless support and dedication which ensure our students receive a solid education and learn the life skills they need to succeed in college, at work, in our communities, and most importantly, in life. As a team, you are art in motion, seamlessly fulfilling each student's academic, therapeutic, health, assistive technology, and social needs each and every day. For that, I thank you. Parents, let me say that again. Parents, families, we thank you for being an active in your child's learning and trusting and believing that Viscardi would provide an enriched, high-quality education in a warm and caring environment. You should be proud of their accomplishments and your sons and daughters and take pride in the role that you have played in getting them here today. So thank you. Graduates, I've been here at the Henry Viscardi School as a teacher and administrator for 15 years. In fact, I've taught just about every one of you. We have made many memories together, and it has been my pleasure to watch you grow and mature into bright, compassionate young adults. You know from the years here that things don't always come easy, but you have continually rose to the occasion and found ways to accomplish your goals. Once you leave here tonight, your road will not always be easy. Whether it be a class in college, finding a job, making new friends, or transitioning into adulthood. But don't let these bumps in the road stand in your way. When you feel challenged, and you absolutely will, remember the uphill climb of our founder, Dr. Henry Viscardi Jr., who opened this school doors 55 years ago. As a man with a disability, he set out to prove people wrong, to change misconceptions. His vision was to show not only Long Island, but the entire world that people like him, people like you, could be productive employees, valuable and independent citizens, homeowners, and loving husbands, wives, fathers, and mothers. He certainly accomplished that and so much more. As your class touted, as your class shirts touted, continue to be loud and proud. Set your bar high for this next chapter of your lives and aspire to be like Dr. Viscardi and the Viscardi alumni before you. Be mentors, be role models, advocates, but most of all, live your dream. Congratulations, keep in touch, and without a doubt, come back to visit us. There is an academic tradition which was instituted long ago that we carry on here today. The practice is the acknowledgement of academic excellence. In that spirit, it is our tradition to have a leading scholar who is leaving the Henry Viscardi School at the Viscardi Center offer words of appreciation to those that made his or her learning possible and verbally salute them for their noble work. Tonight, we have a senior ranking high academically in her class, a student who will be attending St. John's University in the fall. I am honored to present Alexa Williams to offer the salutatory address.
Good evening, Mr. Kemp, Mr. Zigarelli, Mrs. Glover, board members, students, parents, family, friends, and staff members. Welcome to the Henry Viscardi High School 50th graduation commencement ceremony. My name is Alexa Williams, and it is my honor to be the class salutatorian. On behalf of the class of 2017, we would like to thank every single person that has helped us get to this point over the past few years. Fellow classmates, this is a very important day for us. This day marks our entrance into adulthood. We may choose to go on to college or attend a vocational program, but whatever we do, it's the first time we make our own choices for the future. Over the past few years, we studied and worked hard to be where we are tonight, graduating. As I thought about this speech, I wanted to share my first experience at HVS with you. I transferred from public school to HVS during kindergarten at 5 years old. Even at such a young age, I realized my experience was here than at public school. I immediately noticed that the people here at HVS were just like me. I always was made to feel special and part of the class. It was the first time I was not an outsider. HVS has supported my academic career and helped me gain confidence in myself and my accomplishments. Not only did I receive support from the teachers, my friends and staff members at HVS, my parents were always my biggest cheerleaders. Especially my mom. She instilled in me the desire to always believe in myself and strive to make my dreams come true. Growing up, my height always affected my outlook on the world. I had feelings of insecurity and did not feel comfortable in my own shoes. I always doubted and second-guessed myself. Things changed when I realized I wanted to keep growing as a person and as a student. It wasn't so much about my height anymore that I was able to finally focus on me as an individual. Therefore, I started to focus more on gaining confidence by doing things that I love. For example, playing basketball helped me become more confident and stronger. It made me become even more confident when I really enjoyed going to basketball tournaments and winning the tournaments with my teammates. I wasn't so shy anymore to be in the public eye. Go hard or go home has always been my personal mantra. I live by this quote every day. I may not be tall, but I have big dreams. I hope to become an attorney one day, get married, and be a loving wife and mother. I know that these dreams are possible and attainable. I know I will always have the support from my friends and family. On behalf of the class of 2017, I would like to extend our sincere appreciation to the teachers and administrators for your dedication. We have not always been the easiest group to handle, but you somehow got us all this far. To our moms, dads, and all our family and friends, thank you for your support throughout our lives. You have taught us more than any formal education ever could. We go out into the world with confidence and readiness because all of your combined efforts. Thank you for the lessons you all taught us, and thank you for teaching us to think for ourselves. We are forever grateful. No matter where we go or what we do in this great big world, we promise to never forget HVS and take with us the values and lessons you have taught us. Cheers to the class of 2017. Best wishes always. Thank you.
second that. It is also our tradition to have a leading academic student of the class offer his official words of farewell. I now have the honor of presenting the student with the highest academic record in the class. He will be attending the College of Staten Island to study business management this fall. Please welcome valedictorian, class of 2017, Christian Rosado.
Good evening and welcome, Mr. Kemp, Mrs. Zigarelli, Mrs. Glover, Mrs. Nolan, distinguished guests, faculty, staff, families, and fellow graduates, to the 2017 Henry Viscardi graduation. I am honored and humbled to be your valedictorian speaker. I have been reflecting on my years at our school. It has been an interesting journey. Class of 2017, I am sure you can identify with my emotions as I look back on the memories of beginning a student at our school. At this very moment, some of us may be nervous or even scared. I know I am. At the thought that we are leaving our second home. Do you remember our first day of school? I do. I remember getting off the bus and feeling nervous and scared because I did not know anyone at Henry Viscardi. It only took a few days to feel that I was accepted and that I belonged here. I would say that year began the transformation from a shy young little boy to a confident and outspoken young man I have become. The Viscardi School is my second family. The relationships and close ties we've built over time are as strong and meaningful as any. You are my second family. The range of emotions and experiences are so significant. You have supported me and accepted me through many trying times. We've had ups and downs and remained strong for each other. The bond we have is so solid that I know in the future I can call on any one of you for support. This connection, this bond, is what makes us family. I am glad I've gotten to know all of you. I feel blessed that we made it together to the end. Tonight, we celebrate our accomplishments and pay tribute to our school, our teachers, staff, and our families. Over the years at Henry Viscardi, we've learned lots. From all our teachers at HVS, I want to thank all the teachers for helping me reach my goal throughout my time here. I've learned that if you try your hardest and do my best, I will succeed. In elementary school, my 5th grade teacher, Ms. Sigurdsson, would call on me to read out loud. Her gentle encouragement of saying, "It's okay, take your time," helped me build my confidence. Her reassuring words made me feel safe, and it always brought a smile. I am grateful to her for helping me believe in myself. In middle school, one of the teachers that I will always remember is Miss Marlotti, formerly Miss Singer, who got me through the Phantom Toll Booth by Norton Jester in spite of my stubbornness. I now realize Miss Marlotti's toughness was love. Thank you. I have learned math from Miss Phillips, humor mixed with hard work from Mr. Havigan, and Dr. Ron taught me to believe in myself. A special recognition to our counselor and graduation team that planned all our great senior events. Thank you. To my family, a very special family, we celebrate our successes and support each other through tough times, unconditional love. That's why I stand here before you. They give me comfort and joy, encouragement, and that big push I need. I would like to take the moment to recognize my grandmother, my inspiration. She would often say, "Don't come back without a 90 because I know you can do it." My entire family has always set high expectations, and I've learned that when high expectations are set, we can meet them. So I will follow in my grandmother's footsteps and be the second one in my family to go to college. I want to say that tonight, my younger brother, Brendan, is graduating from elementary school. My father, my grandfather, and uncle are at Brendan's graduation. Lots of love, hugs, and support for Brendan as well. We are now in charge of our futures. A scary thought. But I think we are ready. We must be. Our school, our families, have given us a good foundation. We have the skills and the ambition to create wherever we want. Let's go do it. Thank you.
Our school has always been honored by distinguished men and women who have offered their words of wisdom in our commencement address. Tonight is no exception. I would like to invite Mr. John D. Kemp to the podium to introduce tonight's guest speaker, Dr. Christopher Rosa.
Welcome, everyone, and congratulations to the class of 2017. We're proud of you, who you are and who you are becoming, and especially for the next set of plans you have for yourselves. There is no doubt that you have been receiving many words of wisdom this past week, maybe past month, maybe the past year. But let me add 3 to you and to this list. First one is lead. As Justin Dart would say, lead on, but lead. Lead to the point that you are comfortable. You have had many opportunities here at Viscardi to build your leadership skills, including student council, the National Honor Society, and attending leadership conferences in Washington, D.C. Advocate. Advocate for yourself and others. I have seen firsthand how you have advocated on behalf of your classmates and lent your voices to our efforts in Albany. And tonight, we had Senator Elaine Phillips and Assemblyman Anthony Durso, who is here tonight, and you have made a great impact on the Senate and the Assembly. So, graduates, you are our best advocates, and you have lived up to it, so thank you. Take responsibility for your whole life. You are in control of your lives. You have the power to make choices regarding your continued education, employment, housing, health care, financial independence, and more. I want you and I expect you to continue to own your life, enjoy your life, to be as productive and as independent as you possibly can, and most of all, to be as happy as you possibly can. And you will always be great to me and everyone in this room. Tonight is bittersweet. You may feel energized and excited, and at the same time, maybe just a bit sad and apprehensive at the same time. But go out and embrace the new adventures ahead of you. Keep us posted on your journeys and return often to Viscardi. You are always welcome here. So now I get to introduce Dr. Rosa, Dr. Christopher Rosa. Dr. Christopher Rosa is a fervent, loyal New York Mets fan. I could stop right there, and that would be enough, because I get his Facebook posts, and they are loaded with his time at Citi Field and cheering on our Mets. But he's also the Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs at CUNY, where he oversees many, many areas of the university, including 9,000 students with disabilities. He previously served as the university's Assistant Dean for Student Affairs for 8 years, and prior to serving as Assistant Dean, he was the Central Office Director of Student Affairs. This year represents his 30th year of service to CUNY, first as a student leader, later as a member of the faculty, and in more recent years as an administrative leader. Dr. Rose is a graduate of Queens College and served there as its Director of Services for Students with Disabilities and the Director of the college's Student Support Services program before joining CUNY. While Dr. Rose has diverse, broad-based student development experience, he is best known at CUNY for his nationally recognized work on behalf of inclusive higher education opportunities for students with disabilities. He has secured more than $12 million in external funding to support these efforts, which include the highly acclaimed CUNY Leads program that transitions CUNY graduates with disabilities to competitive employment at more than twice the national average rate. And more recently, the establishment of model inclusive higher education programs for students with intellectual disabilities at CUNY. A published disability studies scholar, Vice Chancellor Rosa serves in national leadership roles for organizations that promote access and wellness for Americans with disabilities, including as the Vice Chair of the Muscular Dystrophy Association's Board of Directors. It is a great, great honor to present to you Dr. Christopher Rosa.
Thank you, John. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. What a beautiful night for a graduation. I know that you've all are pretty tired by this time of the year, and you're probably tired of taking exams and answering questions, but if you'll indulge me, I'd like to ask you one last question, particularly since I now realize that the Henry Viscardi School class of 2017 is both loud and proud. Okay? So please, if you will answer one question for me, is the 2017 Henry Viscardi School graduating class in the house? I was hoping you'd say yes. It would have been terribly awkward. It is really my honor to be here, and I thank you so much for inviting me to share this remarkable moment with you, this milestone moment in all of your lives through this remarkable journey. I'm so humbled to be in your presence. I'm in the higher ed business, and at CUNY we have 25 campuses, and every year we're fortunate enough to have 25 graduation or commencement ceremonies. And this year I did 5. So this would be my 6th commencement ceremony this year, and I could tell you in all sincerity, none means more than the one that I'm able to share with you tonight. And hopefully by the end of my remarks, you'll appreciate just why that is. I've been participating in commencement ceremonies so much that I've kind of earned a reputation for it around my university. In fact, I've actually earned a nickname. I'm here with my dear friend and colleague, Charmaine Worthy, who's our University Director of Student Activities. Charmaine, what's my nickname?
The Singing Vice Chancellor!
The Singing Vice Chancellor, everyone. Okay, now the reason I'm called the Singing Vice Chancellor, it turns out, is that I've tried to work in a song during each of my commencement addresses, and it's really kind of a cheap, tawdry kind of trick. And at a place like this, I would never even, boom, boom, and let me hear you say, hey-oh. I said, boom, boom, and let me hear you say, hey-oh. I said, boom, boom, and let me hear you say, hey-oh. That was pretty good. Give yourselves a round of applause. It's true, loud and proud. Loud and proud. And you have a tremendous about which to be proud. The reason why this particular graduation ceremony means so much to me is because of your stories. And the fact that in many ways I feel as though your stories are my story. I was not fortunate enough to go to the Henry Viscardi School, but I'm really proud of going to public school in New York City and Queens. I'm a graduate of Francis Lewis High School, where, thank you, where I was in special education throughout my 4 years at Francis Lewis. And I felt it was a warm and loving environment. I was fortunate enough to be a first-generation IDEA kid. And I think all of you know that the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act is the federal law in grades K through 12, which guarantees all of you, all of us, a free and appropriate and equally accessible education as individuals with disabilities. And when I started school, the IDEA didn't necessarily guarantee anything. There was just a law on the books, and it took parent advocates and teaching faculty to embrace and wrap their arms around the IDEA and to make sure that it fulfilled its promise for thousands and thousands of young people with disabilities. And I benefited from the advocacy of wonderful parents, parents and guardians like those who are assembled here today. And please, let's give them a round of applause. And in the course of my high school career, I experienced significant medical complications. I have muscular dystrophy, and I would encounter very often students from Viscardi at medical appointments, at social gatherings, at community gatherings, and there was something always special about Viscardi kids. And it was always hard for me to put my finger on as a high school student, but I was always envious of them. They had something unique and something special. They had an intrinsic sense of pride and a strength in their identity that I had not seen in anybody else my age with a disability. And more than that, they were fiercely proud of their school and the sense of community that was engendered at that school. And I only realized later on that my envy was because of a longing to experience what you got to experience here at Viscardi, a community that's built around pride in your identity as individuals with disabilities, that's built upon an ethic of advocacy and a true grit that allows you to support each other and each and every one of you never to give up. And that's something of which you all should be incredibly proud. I didn't encounter a community like that until I got to college. It took me graduating from high school and going to college at CUNY before I found a community that was in touch with their sense of pride and their larger sense of community. This is the public service announcement portion of my address, where I make a shameless pitch for those of you who are interested to come to CUNY. But we are very proud of being the nation's largest public urban university system. We enroll more than 500,000 students in 25 campuses across New York City's 5 boroughs. 500,000 students mean that we enroll more students at CUNY than people reside in the city of Boston. So we are big. And among the most vibrant aspects of that learning community are a very proud community of more than 9,000 students with disabilities who are actively remaking the face of our university. They're redefining who gets to go to college and our notion of who gets to participate. And more than that, they're redefining the notion of college itself and what it means and what a diverse community at a college means. And I'm so proud of them. And for those of you with an inclination, this is where I recruit you. I would be proud, so proud, to have you join us at CUNY. I was fortunate enough to be a student there, and it gave me everything that I cherish. It allowed me to meet lifelong friends, to earn a career, and it was a university that believed enough in me that hired an alumnus and entrusted them with the opportunities of more than 500,000 students, including those with disabilities. And I am so proud of that. The best thing about my experience at college is that it allowed me to claim my heroes, to look for role models, people who had set an example to which I should aspire and to which we should all aspire. And I'm really proud to say that one of those heroes is John Kemp. I knew John long before I ever met John. As a disability studies scholar, I studied the American disability experience, and a lot of my research is in disability as a social movement and disability as a culture. And John's influence is woven throughout the narrative that is our narrative, our history, the American disability history experience. He's played a seminal role and a pivotal role in the creation and the ultimate passage of the Americans with Disabilities Act, one of the most far-reaching pieces of civil rights legislation that was ever enacted, and it is the core of our hope, of the notion that ultimately we can all work together through advocacy to create an America of equal access, opportunity, and justice for all, especially Americans with disabilities. And I only got to meet John years later when we became colleagues in the same space as educators, trying to create higher ed access and opportunity for individuals with disabilities. And I remember when I first met John, I was really, really nervous because John was sort of like the Pope. You know, it's like, it's this larger-than-life figure who you really admire, but you're terrified to meet. You know, and I remember meeting him and, you know, being so anxious and wondering about whether or not I would say the right thing. But he was so warm and wonderful and has been so good to me as a mentor, and I'm very proud to call him my mentor, my colleague, and my friend. Thank you, John. When I was growing up, my mentors were much closer to home. And I was very, very lucky to have come across, through my share experience of neuromuscular disability, a mentor who changed my life. He's a mentor who's a Viscardi alumnus, and that's Judge Papilla. We're roughly the same age. I'm better looking, but we're roughly the same age, but Rob is a few years ahead of me in school, and I was so fortunate. I didn't know many other individuals with disabilities, let alone other people with neuromuscular disabilities, and I was always able to look ahead to him a few years down the road to get a sense of the role model that I needed to be in order to succeed. And everywhere he went, Rob blazed the path, and I looked longingly towards his example. When he blazed the trail at law school, I looked to him to help me to navigate the world of politics and governance as he took the lead as a a community leader in government in his community. And my spirit soared, like all of you, when he was elected and became Judge Papiya. And Rob is a remarkable mentor and a remarkable friend. He's the type of friend who tells you the tough stuff, sometimes the stuff that you're not ready or willing to hear about yourself. But he does it out of love, and everybody should have a friend and a leader like Rob Papiya in their lives, and I'm grateful for his presence in my life. And your formidable responsibility is to emerge as the heroes for successive generations of Viscardi students. And based on reading your stories and hearing your stories, you are so well prepared for that task. You will go out and you will blaze paths that are distinctively your own. The legacy that you leave here at Viscardi is truly remarkable. What you've accomplished here, what you've given to your school's community, what you've given to each other is etched in the history and the memory of this institution and in the hearts of you and your classmates and every member of the faculty and the administration here, and all of us who are your biggest fans. You are poised to change the world. You are so well prepared to take the lead as leaders in your community and leaders in the realm of employment. And I wanted to take a moment of personal privilege to talk to you a little bit about employment and your readiness for employment. There's important work for us to do whether or not you're formally compensated for it. But people like John and Rob have taught me the value of pursuing work, the intrinsic dignity that is rooted in work. And you are so tremendously well-positioned to enter the world of work on your own terms, to the best of your ability, and thereby remake workplaces and our American society and our American culture in your own images. And there are 4 things that I think that you've gotten an abiding appreciation for from your experiences here at Viscardi that make you poised to lead and poised to work. And I just wanted to take a moment just to share those things with you. First of all, like me, most of Viscardi graduates tend to stand out a little bit in a crowd. I don't know if you've noticed, but we tend not to look alike. It's certainly not like the average person in a crowd. And I remember when I was in high school, that galled me to no end. It really bothered me, the stares from other people. I'd say, you know, take a picture, it'll last longer. But it wasn't until I started pursuing work that I realized that there was real power in those stares, and that you own the power to transform that and to tap into the power to elevate your brand. A friend told me once upon a time that if they're going to stare anyway, you might as well be a star. And each and every one of you are superstars. You are rock stars. So I urge you to take your difference and take the stairs and turn it around and tap into the power in that moment and use it to get their attention and keep their attention. Because let me tell you, I work with 500,000 students at CUNY in a really tough job market. Half the battle is getting someone's attention. You have it whether you want it or not. So use it to your advantage. Use it to demand and to make it seem like a natural that you belong as part of the new American workforce. The second thing that you've learned is time management. And time for all of us is very precious. And I know time means something to the graduates of Viscardi that is different than most people in our community and our culture. Time means something different for me too. You become masters at time management. It takes us longer sometimes to achieve the same things that other Americans achieve. So we have to be masters at managing our time, at managing our lives in order to fit everything in. Employers will tell you that the biggest challenge among their staff is to get them to respect and utilize time, to be efficient in the use of time, and to use your time in empowering and meaningful ways. And you have written the book about that. You have that all over all prospective candidates for employment. So tap into your expertise around time management. Creativity is something that's most valued in the new American workforce by employers. Who is more creative than you? When you think about the solutions that you've devised, the accommodations that you've devised to perform your activities of daily living, to thrive in and out of the classroom, that is innovation. That is ingenuity. And your ability to tap into those experiences and to tap into that creativity is exactly what modern American employers are looking for. So I urge you to tap into that. And more than anything else, tap into your grit, your true grit and your determination, your failure to give up, your unwillingness to yield, even under the most daunting circumstances. Certainly that is inspirational to me and to anyone who has watched your journey. But it's way more than inspiration. It's a life lesson, it's a life skill, and it's something that will serve you well, remarkably well, throughout the years, and it will give you a competitive advantage over people who are competing against you who have no idea your strength and have no idea about your tenacity. And those 4 things will make the difference. They will make you successes. So now you're only a few minutes away from earning your diplomas. Oh my goodness. And from exiting those doors empowered as Viscardi graduates, poised to take your rightful place among leaders in our community. As you do that, I urge you to hold the door open for the generations of Viscardi students that will follow behind you. That's all of our obligation, and that's your obligation. That is the most powerful way that you can give back to this institution that means so much to everyone in our community, but especially to all of you. So congratulations to the class of 2017. Go out there and change the world, and thank you for all that you've given us. Congratulations.
Okay, we're getting to that time. I'd like to invite all the graduates to come up to stage to receive their diplomas. Mr. Kemp, Ms. Daly, Dr. Rosa, please join me in the presentation. I have the honor to present the class of 2017 candidates for their diplomas in course. By the powers vested in me by the trustees of the Henry Viscardi School, the mandamus of the Board of Regents of New York, and the affirmation of the faculty, I herewith confer upon you the diploma in course of its offices and assign you all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining hereto. And I welcome you to the community of scholars. Please come forward as your name is called and receive your diploma and have your academic tassel turned as a symbol of your graduation. Christopher G. Allen. Hunter M. Barker. Right. Exactly. Sotelo John Cole. Isaiah Shaquan Cujo. Alexa Diarza. Emma Noel Greenfield. Angela L. Lawson. Patrick C. McCarthy. Marcus David Montanez, Jr. Destiny Mitchell Murray.
Go, girl. Go, Destiny. That's right, baby.
Felix Alejandro Perez. Ariel Ramprasad. Christian Noel Rosado. Nervetti Santiago. Samuel A. Tavares. Leonard Toby. Alexa Marie Williams. Those are our 2017 graduates of the Henry Viscardi School. I'd like to invite our Student Council President up to the stage, Destiny Mitchell-Murray. Oh, she came all the way back down to the crowd. Destiny's going to join me for a special presentation. I heard her voice, she's on the way. On behalf of the Henry Viscardi School and our Student Council President, we would like to offer a gift to Dr. Rosa for coming tonight to speak with us. So just a little special token of our appreciation. Thank you. I know our school guidance council is very excited that Dr. Rose is here with us today. I'm sure she's going to get his number. Okay, at this time, I would like to introduce and bring up Mr. John Kemp for some closing remarks. Sorry, Ms. Jeanette Glover is going to come up to give out the Heartfelt Teacher Award. I skipped
Good idea. No problem.
past.
Must do it.
Okay. It's always a pleasure for me to give this award because I think teachers rock. None of us, they don't get enough praise for all that they do because none of us could do anything or be what we are today without teachers. They are just extraordinary. Teachers open our eyes and our minds to the true greatness of life and show us that there are no limits to what we can achieve. My example that I always carry in my heart is Anne Sullivan, if those of you remember. She was an extraordinary teacher for a child that was deaf and blind during a time when children who were like that, people just kind of put aside. That child was then too, Helen Keller, who became an author, a political activist, and a lecturer. The power of a teacher. This is a very special moment in our community. It's our opportunity to recognize and celebrate the unwavering dedication and commitment of a very special teacher in our school. Sidney Hook, who was an American philosopher of education, is quoted as saying, "Everyone who remembers his own education remembers teachers, not methods and techniques. The teacher is the heart of the educational system." The Heartfelt Teacher in Education Award is presented to a teacher who is selected for this honor by their peer. There's a whole voting system. Candidates are recommended for this particular award. And then there is voting by the faculty to select one individual to receive it each year. This special recognition not only is just an acknowledgement of the person, but there's also additional supports for more resources and other enhancements for the classroom program. I would like to tell you a little bit about tonight's recipient. She's a wife, a mother, a grandmother. She has 4 grandchildren. She travels quite a bit to Texas and Virginia to visit her family. She loves completing New York Times crossword puzzles, and she's the resource for her coworkers when they are stuck on a particular clue. They can't figure out what to do. She always has the answer. Through example, she reminds us to take care of ourselves and our health by walking every day. Rain or shine, she's out there walking around, getting in her steps. She has a great laugh and a wonderful smile that is radiant, and it lights up her face and can lift the spirits of anyone. She is a graduate of Adelphi University and has been part of our school community for 26 years. This individual began as a substitute teacher, then she became a teacher assistant and eventually was hired as a math teacher. This teacher is described as incredibly conscientious, hardworking, dedicated, and diligent. She knows all the tricks to make the challenging subject of math for her students easier than they could ever imagine and to master. Andy Rooney, who was a writer for radio and CBS television, said, "Most of us end up with no more than 5 or 6 people who remember us. Teachers have thousands of people that remember them for the rest of their lives." Carolyn Phillips, your students love you, we love you, and give you rave reviews. We all will always remember you. We recognize you and honor you with the 2017 Heartfelt Teacher in Education Award.
my kids. I accept this award, and I'm truly speechless. But I just want to say that here in Viscardi, we are a team. When I don't know something or I have a problem, there's always a colleague to help me out. And I just, for all of us, thank you. We don't work alone. We are together for our kids. Thank you.
Isn't this just the best night of the year? And it's because of you great students. You make it so wonderful. So congratulations. I invite our guests on the stage to move to the audience to view our Class of 2017 slideshow. In addition, we ask that all guests remain in their seats at the conclusion of the slideshow until our graduates have exited the gym. We hope that you will also join us at a fabulous dessert reception next door. Students, you are officially graduates of the Henry Viscardi School. Yeah!